All right. What is going on, everybody, on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream from the Millennial Motivation Entrepreneur YouTube channel. First and foremost, if you're new to the channel looking to join an awesome network of like-minded people, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below. We have over 550 of us here now. It's awesome just to see this community growing so quickly. And we also have over 60 members now in our Discord group chat. If you want to join that, that's also down in the description box. If you're new and don't know what Discord is, it's an app you can download for any smartphone essentially. And it's just an app we all use to communicate throughout the day with our trades. We also discuss in there, we have a few tabs in there for like thrifting, what else? There's penny stocks in there, there's reselling, all that good stuff. So if you're just into making money online other than from your job, that group chat is definitely for you. But before we get started, I just want to make sure our stream is doing all right. It's looking like it's good on my end. It's looking like we are doing all right as well. So I will just go ahead and hop right in. So obviously you can see today was a pretty decent day. How's it going there, Josh? All caps. Hello. How's it going? Good evening. Good afternoon. It's still afternoon where you are. It's about 3 o'clock, isn't it? But so you can see we're doing pretty good. We're officially in the green on the UWT. You can see it's at $15 a share now in the after hours. And that means overall we're up just over 1/3% overall in our position. Average buy cost of $14.94. So we're not up an awful lot, only 6 cents a share. So essentially a $6 gain overall on that position roughly. But overall on the day, we're up pretty much from an account standpoint, roughly 3%. So, I mean, not too bad. And then obviously overall for the past month since we started trading again, we're up about 4%. So nothing major. But like I said, it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you can consistently profit every single month, I always have to remind myself on like down days, I just pull out my 1 month. And then obviously as we keep going forward, I'll pull out 3 months and so on. Because if you can just profit every single week, every single month, your account's just going to keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And then for the week, okay, there it goes. So for the past week, we're up roughly 2.5 almost percent. So not too bad of a week. It's been a pretty volatile week overall because of oil, obviously. And we're going to discuss that as well as natural gas. So with that, we'll just hop right into checking out oil and natural gas. So first I want to actually take a look at natural gas just because I actually didn't even look at this today, but I noticed over the last like day or so, we did hit 285. So we have officially broken through the 2.70 brick wall. We gapped up apparently 2 days ago. What was that, Monday? Was it Monday or Friday? Today's the 26th. I lose track of my days. Either way, on the 24th, we gapped up to around 2.76, 2.75 area, and we kind of hung out around there, and then we continued to push up to 285. So that's pretty interesting. However, there was a pullback. I want to see this thing hold around this mark. I want to see us stay around 275, 276. To be honest, I don't even want to see it go below 276. So we're pretty close to that point. And whenever we look at our 180-day, or I don't think it was a 180-day, I think it was a 20-day. So when we look at our 20-day chart, you can see we approached that 285 resistance. We got rejected. So, I mean, I would love to see this thing stay stay above 276. But in all honesty, when I look at it, I wouldn't be surprised if we revisit 2.7. So if it does happen to fall that far, it definitely needs to stay above 2.7. But I want to see it, in all honesty, for me to stay bullish on natural gas short term, I want to see it stay above 2.76. If it can bounce above that overnight tonight, I think it is an amazing buying opportunity for you guys tomorrow morning if it can stay low enough, obviously. I want to get in, if I were to get into you guys, I would want to get in this around $33. It's pretty much right around there right now. I don't want to see a gap up or anything overnight. I just kind of want to see it build that support right around 33. So I would consider hopping in this all the way up to about 33.40. After that, it's just no longer attractive to me because me personally, I'm going to want to sell this around 35.50, and you're going to get about 6% probably in 1 day, 1 to 2 days. So I mean, a very short-term trade. I'm not going to be playing it or anything. I got most of my money wrapped up into UWT. I'm all in on UWT, but it is a very good day trade and potential short-term swing trade opportunity. Just be careful because, like I said, if natural gas breaks down below 2.76, it's probably going to fall back down to around 2.7 before finding some good support. And at that point, I do think it'll bounce, and then you'll just get UGAS at an even cheaper price. Sorry, I forgot to mute my phone before starting the stream. But so yeah, overall, I do think it's a potential good buying point for UGAS. I don't want to get it I would not want to get it any higher than like 33.40 though, just because it starts to cut into the profit a lot, and your risk versus reward starts to kind of sway more to the risk side than the upside. I don't see this going above 36 unless if obviously we make a new recent high within natural gas. For this to go up north of 36, you're looking at 2.9 probably on natural gas. So it's got a ways to go. But it's still encouraging though to see the natural gas did finally break above that 2.7, and I am still short term at least bullish on natural gas from that standpoint. Now, to head over to oil, well, and I know there's a lot of you that trade DGAS too, so what does it mean for DGAS? Honestly, if like you got this just at a bad price point, $100 to $105, and you've kind of been holding, you might want to consider ditching it today or tomorrow, because I mean, I think, and like I said, at least in the short term, next week or two, next few weeks, I think natural gas is going to keep going up unless if it breaks past that 2.7 support. So I mean, at the most, you're probably going to maybe make your money back depending on when you got in. If you got in this above 105, it sucks, but I don't think it's going to go past 105 anytime too soon. So just take it as you wish. But to head over to oil, oil's hovering right around $56. We were talking about this earlier. Had a little gap up right around the after hour, like right around the after hour session. If we take a look here, zoom in, you can see, to be exact, it happened right around 3:30 Central Time. So about 30 minutes after hours, about 30 minutes before the trading session actually closed for that 1 hour break for oil. But yeah, I don't know what the heck. I was trying to find it online. I was looking all over the place to see what the heck caused it to gap up randomly like that. But I couldn't really find anything. So I don't know if maybe somebody knows, because obviously we have the report tomorrow morning at 10:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central. So I don't know if maybe, I'm sure the numbers got leaked to somebody big, obviously. They can say what they want. There's insider trading all over the place. But nice to see. I mean, I thought overall oil would hit around $56 today. Didn't hit it in the fashion that I expected it to, though early on, I think we did cross 56 or really close to it at one point. Yeah, we got very close to 56, and we got rejected, and we continued to make lower highs and lower lows throughout the day before we kind of double bottomed and started to kind of move to the upside. And then we kind of just hung around 55.60 to 55.70 most of the afternoon. And then obviously we had that gap up. So that's going to be pretty interesting to watch kind of what happens tonight. I wouldn't be surprised in all honesty. That's why I have an alert set here, just so if it does overnight, I'll kind of be alerted. I wouldn't be surprised to see this pull back to like 55.80 to 55.85 overnight tonight. I mean, it's not even a big drop, 10 cents from where it's at right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see it pull back there. But overall, I wouldn't be surprised to tomorrow if we see oil go back over $56. And then when we look at our 1 hour chart, if I can get it pulled up, I wouldn't be surprised if we start to retest that 56.40 to 56.50 resistance. There's going to be some pretty strong resistance there because there was before we gapped up to over $57. But if we can somehow break that within the next couple days, then I think we're going to see oil retest $57 to $58, possibly by the end of the week. But in all honesty, if oil can end the week above 56, between $56 and $57, that'll be a good thing. And depending on which price point it's at exactly, I might consider selling some of my UWT shares, because at that point they would be roughly, I wouldn't say exactly at my target sell, but we'll be talking about somewhere around like $15.50 to $16 within that range. So I'll definitely start taking some positions off the table at that point, since my average buy cost is right around $14.94. If I can get it, pretty close. If I can sell this for around, like I said, $15.50 range is where I'll consider start taking some positions off. You're looking at a 4% return, so just never be afraid to take profit. I mean, profit is profit at the end of the day. If you're up, take the money. If it's looking like there's tons of resistance and it might possibly go lower within a few hours or a day or so, then just take some positions off at the minimum and then ride it out with the rest. So it'll just depend how it moves overnight tonight and into tomorrow. But I'm still pretty bullish on oil overall. 58 is going to be a very strong resistance, but it's pretty much been that way the whole time. I mean, just on the way up, we've had resistance after resistance. If we go back to our 180-day chart and we zoom in from the low, I mean, we've had resistance after resistance, and we just keep breaking every single one slowly but surely. So, like I said, long oil, long oil, long oil. Pretty much buy the dips and then sell it whenever it starts to approach that resistance. Wait for it to make a new high, wait for it to dip, buy the dip again, rinse, repeat. Pretty much has done the same thing for the last 2 months or so. So, no need to be worried or anything about oil. And today pretty much solidified that. But, let me make sure our stream's still doing all right. We got 3 of you tuning in. And like I said, if you guys ever have any questions or anything like that, or any ticker symbols you want me to take a look at, definitely always just feel free to shout them out there in the chat. But, so yeah, so when you're looking at oil, obviously for like those of you that are going to be tuning in for the first time or new to stocks as a whole, when we're trading oil, we like to trade UWT and Gush. Those tend to go pretty much pretty close to hand in hand with oil, as you can see. That's the oil chart, and then this is the UWT chart, if it'll load up. Pretty similar charts, right? Gush lately hasn't been really following oil quite as much. You can see Gush was down 4.5% today. I'm actually considering buying some positions within Gush, depending on how it moves this evening and tomorrow morning. But But yeah, pretty much you're going to be looking at Gush and UWT if you're a bull. And then if you're not a bull and you're a bear, you're going to obviously be trading your DWT, which is the inverse of UWT, the inverse ETN of UWT. See how the chart's pretty much just flipped. And then with Gush, its inverse is going to be DRIP. So if you're bearish, you're going to be investing into DRIP. So just a little refresher for anyone that's new and whatnot. But yeah, overall, very bullish on oil. It's pretty much just hanging right around 56. 56 is going to be a little, I mean, anytime you hit a new dollar, you're going to hit some little bit of resistance. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this thing kind of just hang around. Like I said, that 55.85 to 56 mark most of the night. I'm just interested to see what's going to happen tomorrow with the inventories and whatnot. But I do think, if all goes well, this is going to go at least to 56.40 tomorrow. And if it can go really well, we might even see a retest of 57. But I'm not going to get too excited about that. Thoughts on SPY? So SPY, the Spider ETF of the S&P 500, keeps getting rejected at that critical 280 to 281 mark that we mentioned. We know there's quite a bit of resistance there. Whenever this whole correction started, it acted as a resistance after we broke down to the 260s, got rejected, and made a new low for the last year or two. We've been on a run ever since, but we're hanging right around that resistance. Would I be surprised if we break it? No, because in all honesty, we've been testing it quite a bit over the last few days. You can see we tested it quite a bit yesterday. We tested it a couple times today. Only thing that's worrying me is the last day or so, ever since we got rejected at 281, we've made lower highs. And we're kind of in this little wedge right now because we have a support right around like 278, but the resistance is right around like 280, like we mentioned. So the rest of this week is going to be pretty critical for if it's going to actually take another leg higher and go north of 280 and start to try to push onwards to 290, or is it going to break down and leg down and maybe even fall into another correction maybe. If I was a betting man, I'm probably in the boat that I think it's probably going to go ahead and break through it, and we're going to probably approach at least 290, 288 to 290. I do not think we're going to make all-time highs though. I'll go ahead and just go on the record and say that. I might even be wrong on that. I just don't think we're going to make new all-time highs before we go into the next recession. But it doesn't mean that we're going to go into a major correction again like we did in November, December. I'm just saying I think the max top that we're going to get this year is 290, and we're probably going to be somewhere in the range of I would probably say somewhere from 285 to 290, as low as 265. Probably just going to kind of stay in this range most of the year. If I was a betting man, obviously I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just kind of throwing my own range out there. I think 265 to 290 is going to kind of be our range most of the year, with the exception of maybe a correction here or there. I'm betting on more corrections this year. I think we're going to keep having those quick little 10 to 12% corrections. I think we're going to have a couple of them, at least 2 to 4, maybe even 5 or 6. We're pretty much just waiting on the big one. I think we all know it's coming. The Fed and everybody just keeps trying to do everything to keep it from happening. So it's just a matter of if, not when. I mean, we've had a hell of a run, hell of a bull market over the last, going on 10 years or something. Let's just look at time frame. Let's see. I want daily. Let's just go to the last 10 years and look at SPY. So we have a low of what? 67. So in 2009, SPY was in March of 2009, so almost 10 years ago, in a couple weeks, SPY was at 67, and now it's all the way up to 280. So, I mean, we've been on a hell of a run the last 10 years. It's just a matter of if, not when, this thing's going to pull back. And in all honesty, I don't think it's going to drop quite as far as everybody's expecting. I'm thinking we're going to kind of be right around the 180s, 180 to 200. I'm not seeing like some crazy $100 drop in SPY. But I mean, you're still talking a pretty solid drop from where we're at right now. We're talking roughly I would say, yeah, that's how much? A 30 to 32% correction. On the low end, probably a 25. I'm betting on a 25 to 30% correction when the big one comes. I'm not saying it's going to be like after we get rejected here. I'm just saying in general, the big one's coming. It's just a matter of if, not when. So, I mean, you can see, just look at the daily chart. Ever since January of last year, we've had so much volatility over the last year or so. I'm still trying to figure out how 235 was such a big support this last time. I guess I can God damn it, I keep hitting the wrong button. I guess I can kind of see it. Not really though. You can see in 2017 we kind of double bottomed right around 233 to 235. But I mean, it's kind of strange that they picked that number to really save it at. But it'll be kind of interesting to see how that plays out over the rest of the week. It's not really showing the signs that it's trying to roll over yet on that 4-hour chart. I don't know about the 1 day. I didn't even look at the 1 day, 1 year. Yeah, I mean, it's not like showing the signs necessarily that it's starting to run out of steam. But look at that 1 year, 1 day, we're getting overbought. So, I mean, might get our first little pullback of the year here before long. Probably going to be not a big one. Probably somewhere around 270 is where we'll pull back to. But we've seen this thing overbought many, many times, and it just continued to run. So I personally think it's probably going to go ahead and break through 280 and probably try to push up to 285 to 290 before getting rejected and pulling back to like 270. It's going to make it look worse than it is. I mean, let's be real. If it gets up to like 287 and pulls all the way back to like 270, you're looking at a 6% pullback. So, I mean, that looks a lot worse than if it pulled back to 270 from here. So, yeah, our national debt's crazy. Yeah. Not even just national debt, too. I mean, it's just history more than anything. I mean, the market, it goes on these runs, and then it has a solid 2-year pullback, and then it goes higher. It does it all the time. 2 to 4 years is usually how long those little bear markets last. I mean, we can go look at 20 years. See, where is 2008? So here's like 07 through 09, kind of what we're talking about. And then literally, let's see when did all this really start. So we kind of started rolling over right around October of 07. And it took about It took about 2 years to completely play out. And then we started going higher from there. So I'll take a 10-year run and a 2-year shitty little bear market any day of the week. But yeah, overall short term, I do think SPY is going north of 280 again. There's really no reason for it not to. I mean, it sounded like Powell said everything he was supposed to today. Sounded like he did pretty good. He kept the market from kind of reacting too much. We ended pretty much unch on the day. Long-term TVIX. Well, if I was to play like the VIXs, I would play, what is it? I think UVXY? No, maybe not UVXY. I forget. Let me see. I thought I had these all here. Let's see. TVIX. I thought I had these saved. Where are they at? Maybe I don't. I thought I had all the VIXs here. Maybe it was UVXY. Let's see, UVXY was up 1% today. TVIX was up. Okay, so I guess it really doesn't matter which one you play. UVXY is the one that a lot of people play, especially the options traders. But I guess it really doesn't matter because they tend to move pretty close with one another. So, yeah, TVIX would probably be... I wouldn't go all in or anything with it, though. I mean, I would wait for it to try to approach the 20s. Before buying some, and if you're gonna buy some, just be willing to buy it and then not even look at it. Like, don't even just pretend you lost that money. Essentially, you spent the money, it's gone. Don't even look at it, and because all you're gonna do is this thing might pop up to $50 or something. You're gonna be tempted to sell, even though we're not even like in the big one. You're gonna want to hold this in until the big one happens, because then it's probably gonna go north of $70-$80. But yeah, I'm not to the point where I'm gonna be buying any TVIX or UVXY or placing any long-term options, betting, pretty much doing the big short, so to speak. I'm not gonna be doing anything like that anytime soon. But I mean, you might, depending on, I don't know, you might want to load up on some TVIX if you want to. But like I said, just be willing to buy some and then essentially look at it as lost money. Don't even look at it. Just look at the markets, and once you see the markets are going to shit, maybe then it's time to cash out on that TVIX or UVXY or whatever you're buying that's shorting the market. But yeah, good little talk about that. So oil still not really doing nothing. Let's check out natural gas since the opening. Hasn't really moved off a lot. Still hovering. It's at 277 now, so it did bounce above 276, but natural gas really doesn't move quite a lot. These things really don't tend to move too much in the evening session. It's more so late overnight, early morning, whenever these start to move. Like oil, if I remember right, it took a big move. I think, was that today? It took a pretty big move to the downside. This was about an hour pre-market. It took this big move from 55.72 clear down to 55.22. Just a few minutes within an hour of pre-market. But I mean, overall overnight, you can see, I mean, it really didn't move an awful lot. So, but yeah, on that note, unless if we have any other questions, we got 4 of you tuning in. Like I said, if you'll ever have any questions or anything, you can always just shout it out there in the chat. But if we don't have any questions or tickers, anything like that, I'll just go ahead and wrap the stream up. Like I said, I don't try to make these streams too long during the week. I just kind of like to do just like a, if possible, like a daily stream just to kind of recap oil, natural gas, the overall markets. I like to update you guys on like what I'm playing, how my portfolio is doing overall. Like I said, since we started swing trading on our Robinhood account, we're up overall $57 in what, about the last almost month. Obviously I was playing with $500 when I started, and then about a week or two ago I put another 500 in, and then this week I put another 500 in. Pretty much I'm trying to put in 500 to $1,000 a month, because obviously at the end of the day the stock market is pay to play. 4% on 1,500 doesn't look like a lot, but if you have 4% on 10 grand, then you're starting to see a bigger dividend, obviously. I mean, it's just part of the game. It's pay to play at the end of the day. But does that mean that you shouldn't invest in the market if you don't have much money? No. I mean, when I very first started doing this whole stock market thing, I started with like I think $100 or $200, and then I've kind of been in and out ever since. But now that we're finally getting situated here and whatnot, and we're getting ready for the baby and everything, I know how much I can put into my account and hold it and not have to pull out of it. So, yeah. So, like I said, at the end of the day, just keep adding to your account. Keep learning from your mistakes. Rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. And you'll do well long term. I mean, 4%, if you can do 4% in a month, doesn't even sound like a lot. But like I keep saying, if you can do 4% every single month and you keep adding money to your account, not including the power of like compounding interest, if you just take 4% times 12 months, you did 48%. I mean, you're outperforming the market by a lot. The S&P 500 only averages, I think, somewhere around like 8 to 10%. Some say as high as 12, but usually in that range of like 7 to 12% every year. So, I mean, you're outperforming the market by a lot. So just always keep that in mind anytime you're thinking, oh, well, I'm not really seeing a big gain. You just have to stay positive at the end of the day. But on that note, I'll go ahead and wrap the stream up. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the stream. If you did, definitely make sure to smash the like button. I greatly appreciate that. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, we'd love to have you here. Definitely consider hitting the subscribe button below. We have over 550 of you here now. That's awesome. And like I said, we have that totally free Discord group chat. That's down in the description box as well. It's super easy to join. We have over 60 of you in there now, so that's awesome. We have constant conversations going on in there now, so it's pretty cool to see that community start to grow too. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there making those profits, covering your profits, and achieving your financial freedom in 2019 and beyond. And I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow for another live stream. But I'll keep those of you in Discord updated. But I'm pretty sure we'll have another live stream tomorrow, unless if something crazy happens that I don't see happening. But until then, take it easy, guys.